Hey, greetings everyone, it's GleeCon. Welcome back. I'm here for another episode of Lore of Warcraft. Thanks so much for tuning in and joining. On the last episode, we continued to read the World of Warcraft official magazine, and we had some interesting lore on the Titans, at least as the lore stood kind of leading up into Cataclysm, as we read that hard-to-find publication. We've also been playing through World of Warcraft Classic extensively, and we finished off the mega zone of the Barrens with our Orc Protection Warrior last time. And now we're going to jump into Talanji. So stay a while and listen as we pick up with a character we haven't visited in a little while, our Troll Rogue. And she is in, oh my, we have a talent reset. That's how long it's been. Which means she hasn't played since they brought out World of Warcraft Hardcore, I think. She is in the Ashenvale level, and she is only level 23. She might be our lowest level character, so she's got her work cut out for her. Let's go ahead and look at classic rogue talents. Now she's a dagger rogue, so we got to kind of look and see where we're at. So where do we want to go here? That's combat swords. We want combat daggers. There's also Seal Fate daggers. Interesting. So let's get kind of some of that off. Benefit is the best PvP build. We don't care about that. Playing Horde, you'll not be using because of the Wind Fury Totem aspect. Much more viable. I think we're just going to stick with what we were doing before. So let's see what we have here. If we look at this, we could have damage dealt from when striking from behind, which would be nice, but that only helps us in situations where we are out of the subtle when we're in group content. So if we stick with this, we can start with the critical strike chance. I like that one, pumping all 5 points into that. Because it opens up the improved slice and dice, we know that's important to have. And we can also give 2 points into murder, which is essentially 2% damage boost to humanoids, giants, beasts, and dragonquins, and the majority of the things you fight, just not like undead. And then it gives us all these points we can give into lethality, which gives us Sinister Strike, Backstab, increased crit chance. So that's all she has, one more, and that's all she's going to take before we decide to either move into combat, or we might move into, we'll probably move into the combat tree after that. So I like working on the assassin tree a little bit here. She does have poisons. They have 3 minutes left. She's got this mega quest, which is picking up all these manuals. It's a pain in the butt. She has page 1 and page 3. There's 12 total pages. Got some vanishing powder. I got to remember to use that move. Okay, so we have the Stone Talon Standstill, but this isn't actually a tougher mission for her. So Sharp Talon's a bit of a pain. So is that. The Warsong Supplies, we already know that's a tough one. I actually think, do I have any of these? We have the Warsong Outrider update and the Scout. So she does need the third one. So I think we're actually going to do what the game intends you to do as Horde, which is to travel all the way across the zone and start working on these quests over here. They're actually a little bit lower level, and it gives us the runner update and the ability to fly back over here as needed. So that's how we're going to start this episode. We are going to make a run across the zone, and we're going to do something. I haven't even done this in my Horde characters that I've been playing off camera with. So we're going to focus her down for a while and play out here. This Warsong Reports also coincidentally happens to be the lowest level. I don't remember. It says that it's in the Barrens. So after we get this, we're probably going to have to fly back and, do a little work on that. She has no guild, so she's either been dropped from her guild because it's been so long, or she never had one. I don't really quite remember. Let's go ahead and bust a sprint out. Why not? It's going to be probably a few minutes of a run to go all the way across this zone. We'll just stick to the roads, be safe. Now, she is an engineer, so one of the things that you need is you need to be able to build this one particular gun. I think it's the Deadly Blunderbuss. So the good thing for her is she can make it herself, as you can see. We have our ore on. She might have to buy some of the materials now. She has no ore. I'm sure I can find copper. Looks like we need copper tubes and copper bolts. So to make that, just to kind of get ourselves ready, a handful of copper bolts. Each one takes one single copper. So we need 4 copper just for that. Then for the copper tubes, which we need 2 of, each one takes 2 copper. So we need another 4. So we need 8 total copper to make this gun. The reason why we need it is you have to trade it in for one of these. I don't remember. It's either the axe or the saw blades. I don't quite remember. We can actually look at the map. That's the logging rope. You pick that up from... Well, how is her fishing? Let's look at that real quick. I don't even see... Engineering, mining, secondary skills. Oh, she's not a fisher. Or a cook. So I'm not going to sweat it then. If you're already not doing it at this rank, then screw it. Okay, so back at what we were doing there. Then she'll need to buy 2 medium leather, but that's cheaper probably than buying outright the gun, and you can buy a wooden stock from the actual like vendor. She's 23. She's going to need to go do moves. So at some point, she might have some copper sitting in the bank. But yeah, she's got her work cut out for her. Now this zone is typically, I think, if you look at, let's look at the actual like Horde classic Ashenvale suggested level. We gotta also not walk too long in case we get ourselves into a danger zone, but we're okay. So right here, that's a 27. These are the people you have to kind of find as you go around. She has the satyr claws, satyr horns, which we did on Alliance, so we know that takes a while. And she's got the Stone Talon Standstill is the lowest one she's got, which is level 25. So I think we'll be better served going out over here and messing around. I have not finished this zone, I don't believe, with a Horde. It says in level 19 to 30. So if we look at the quests and we look at them by this, the Horde ones, they top out at level 34, but that's a care package. So the dungeon quests are level 30, sure, but not counting those. The Lost Pages is considered a 30. So that's the highest. Lost Pages and the Hunt Completed, which is if you beat all 3 beasts, including Sharp Talon. So those ones are only 30, and then other than that, you've got some 27s. So 27's are really, realistically, about as hard as it's going to get, because Sharp Talon, if you look at it, I think Sharp Talon is a level, it says it's a 30 quest. I don't remember exactly what Sharp Talon is. We can kind of look and see for where Sharp Talon is if we wanted to search the actual, just to see what that mob is like. We could at least see what realistically, Sharp Talon might be a level 30 creature. I don't know. Doesn't really say. He's an NPC. Level 31. Yikes. Okay, so he's tough. It's going to be tough to solo Sharp Talon for sure. When we actually get there, there's a chance we could maybe kite Sharp Talon, but that's obviously one of the last things we'll do in this zone. I have completed those quests without him. Yes, we're finishing off Black Fathom Deeps because of the level 30 and 27 quests. That'll probably be one of the last things we do in the zone also. But if you look here, there's lots of things. 19s, 22s, that's a dungeon. So 23s, 24s. So a little easier than what we've got going on. It'd be good to pick these up and probably some chains out of them, which will get us into that level 24, 25 range, which will set us in a better spot to get Versangus, to do the Stone Talon Standstill, to maybe even start hunting the Satyr Horns, because there's some easier areas if you do it here. They're only you can fight level 25, 26. So now we have to be careful, because this is Astronar. We can't do that. We can't, we got to kind of skirt Astronar and be careful here. It's a little bit of a pain. Because if you're just not paying attention, you go walking, following the road, you will get yourself into massive trouble. I think they even maybe mentioned that in the Warsong reports. It says you need to stop at Splinter Tree Poth along the road to the east near Ajara. Yeah, it doesn't really get us into a lot of... Now, we could stealth. There's that. I do think there's... I don't know. So we'll just check it out. It looks like we could potentially... Yeah, see, our sprint is already tracking back up again. Level 20, which will track onto us. We'll fight as needed. 10, 20, 30. Yeah, we're about 2/3 of the way through. Go ahead and stealth just to split that hair, because I'm not really interested in slowing down our time too much for fighting random mobs with no purpose, but we'll do it if we have to. And I can see the road already. Should save my sprint for that. Oh, now we've aggroed. So we have officially aggroed on. I don't have my poison on. No biggie. Okay. Go ahead and do the slice and dice, and now we're just going to hit the damage. And her damage, as you can already see, not too shabby. So she gained some XP, but that's about it. No items. But we'll take it. We'll take it. I can't believe she's only 23, and this is why we're going to focus on her. This is a nice sized zone. Our Resto Shaman is probably right around the same level as her. That's why our Horde is just farther behind, because we finished all these other zones with Alliance. So we've got to finish with her, and then we're going to do some work on Stone Talon. After we do those things, and we'll finish off Hillspread, then we should be starting to get into a good spot where all of our characters are above level 25, somewhere in that level 26, 27 range. She's getting XP as she walks along to explore the zone, so we got to be careful also that we don't aggro by Maestra's post there. Maestra's post, I don't know, I've always said Maestra. Pronouncing it like sort of phonetically. One of the things that's annoying about the English language is the inconsistent way that you pronounce things. It's literally how they teach English to like teachers of children. They have to like decide whether or not they want to teach children the rules of the alphabet, like the phonemes and everything, or if they want to teach them based on memorization and just knowing the rule for the word, which is ridiculous. Most other, I just know this from playing around with Duolingo so much, but you can just tell, like with Spanish, French, Arabic, there's a rule. When you see a letter, you know what it's going to sound like. There are consistent rules, and in English, that is not so. Not an easy one to remember when it comes to all the different things. So now on the plus side, I mean, I'm not going to say it's the hardest language in the world, but that does make it tricky. It's also tricky because of the syntax is so different from most other Romance languages. But Chinese, which I also studied Mandarin for a few years, that, on the other hand, is very hard. The sounds are always the same, like in pretty much every other language. It's predictable. However, there are just so many variations because it's a tonal language. There's, you know, for every possible sound you can make, you then also have to take into consideration the tone. So it quadruples or quintuples the amount of. I can't remember if there's 4 or 5 tones. It's been a long time. It's been probably we're coming up probably on 20 years since I studied. So I remember the basics. I could have a foothold into it, but that is my least. I only did it for 2 or 3 years when I went through my original college major of wanting to do linguistics. So That's a toughie. All right, we made it to the Zoram Strand. I literally have not been here with any of my characters in Classic. So this is cool. We're going to get in some lore for the first time for me. Lore I haven't seen in probably almost 20 years since I played Warcraft Classic. Or at least Wrath, I don't know. So definitely not since before Cataclysms. Alright, so we've got a Wind Rider Master here. We've got some things. Now, what does this guy have? Ah, here's our Warsong Runner update.
Yes, adventurer? Are you reporting in?
Yes, sir.
For the Horde.
So, you're here with my orders. Always good to see a new recruit with an exuberant nature and a strong will. You'd best learn fast if you expect to keep up here. The threat of the Naga grows to Lanchi. I've observed and have taken up defenses against several attacks on this outpost since I arrived here. But if you'd like to pitch in with that effort, speak with one of the others here at the outpost.
Well, my update will explain all of this to Kadrak. You must return this to him as quickly as possible.
Will do. So we now have all 3 reports. While we are here, we may as well pick up these quests. But now that we have all 3, we gotta have a trigger. It's not triggering and questing because it's a pain in the butt cheeks. Let's talk about Vorsha the Lasher.
Vorsha the Lasher, the fiendish hydra that roams the seas. She has attacked our outpost, each time unprovoked, laying waste to anything that falls in her path. But I am ready, adventurer. I have prepared to best the hydra and end these attacks on Zoramgar. The Naga honor the wicked nature of this beast with a brazier that remains lit on an island just off the coast. I believe that if we put it out, Vorsha will appear in anger. We will need help, so be sure to bring some strong allies.
Okay, so she says we need allies. That's a pain in the butt.
Are you... Oh, great. He wants to do it right now. Are you sure that you are ready? If we do not have a group of your allies to aid us, we will surely fail. This would be a tough fight, Talanji. Follow me closely.
I did not realize this was going to kick us right into combat here. So we're, like you said, we're probably going to fail because I don't have a group of allies. So that is a pain. I think this quest still exists nowadays. He walks pretty slow, so I can probably afford to stealth. And I'll just have to maybe do what I can. Can you pick the pocket of Nagas? Do they have pockets?
It is too far away.
Yes, you can. Okay, I failed on that one. Okay. So he, oh great, it's running already. That was okay. I just don't think that's indicative of how the fight's going to go down most of the rest of the way. We'll get her too. Let's pick her little pocket. I think because I'm higher level. There we go. Yeah, when you can hit, that was pretty good. That enabled us to beat whatever it was. The problem is that if we get into a situation where waves start to occur, that's what's going to make us be screwed. I don't know if he walks out there. I think this is a little different. Yeah, it's out there on that island. I don't know if this guy's going to aggro on. If it is, I'll just go run in with backstabs. Doesn't seem like it. Oh, there's a waterlogged footlocker. So if I don't die, we can try that. Probably my guess is, yeah, he's going to swim across. Maybe I could at least get this footlocker open while we're out there. Just keep that. He's swimming, it looks like. See him right there, Muglash. Okay, again, my luck picking up to 98. Here's the beaker. Jeez Louise. So, whatever. It is what it is. We'll either try to get a group going or just do it later when we're higher level. We're going to see how tough it is. If it's just the Lasher, then maybe we can out DPS. Put it out. Okay. Vorsha is a beast worthy of praise from no one. I want to wait a couple seconds so that I can slip into stealth again, because I'd rather him draw the initial aggro, because I will probably aggro on pretty hardcore. Be on your guard. It is going to be waves. I knew it. Okay. So we're going to go ahead. Well, that was pretty good. Okay. We're hit there. Okay, not too shabby.
I do not have enough energy.
Okay. So he lived. He really wasn't even in much of a threat of not living, so that's good.
Perhaps we will get a moment to rest, but I will not give up until we have faced off against Vorsaj.
Not going to mess with any of that. I don't really have anything. I mean, I could try to vanish if need be.
Be on your guard, Talungi.
So, okay, gonna hit some. We're getting hit. Okay, so that's okay. I'd rather actually go after these. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so not too bad. He says it needs a group, but we're doing okay. All right. So now maybe he'll run back up and be like, yeah, you need... Okay, so... Put some bandage on me.
Look, just at the water's surface.
There is Vorsaj. Okay, so I'm going to let him draw the initial aggro. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that we need a... I even have my... my debuffs if I need. I have a potion as needed as well. And I don't have a good finisher. Yeah, look at that. We got him. Do I have some food I can eat? I don't know. Okay, so we defeated him. I don't know why he said we needed a group. It was really not. He says,
I am going to patrol the area for a while longer to ensure that things are truly safe. Please return to Zoramgar and report our success to the Warsong Runner.
Alright, cool. So I have also page 3, page 1, and page 6. I've now started to get into the second batch of pages. So, we defeated Vorsha the Lasher, and we were fine. Totally fine. The mobs are really not that bad. It's a level 23 quest. I'm level 23. It's not even like I'm past the levels. Maybe my character's geared semi-decent for 23. That helps. But I mean, look, I got grays on, so... Grays, greens, don't even have 2 rings. Sure. Yeah, I don't have a single thing, so I'm not wearing anything special. Alright, so let's tell this guy. We did it.
I have witnessed many Naga attacks since
Oh, we got a second ring.
It puts my mind at ease that Vorsha will no longer roam freely. We are in your debt, adventurer.
That's Talungi, my friend. Alright, so I got a second ring, a horn ring. That's a nice help. Okay. Here we have a fish merchant and supplies.
Come get the voodoo.
Nothing I can really do about the cooking. I don't care about any of that stuff. So I'm going to sell these various things. I could open this barnacle clam because you don't know when you're going to get a pearl.
Greetings, man.
I don't need melon juice, so we'll just sell off all that stuff. Okay, cool.
Stay away.
Probably should. I'm going to put that in my bank because I don't have the cooking of fish. Okay, so this guy is the leader, and he's going to give us probably 2 dungeon quests, it looks like. The elements speak to us, rogue. They share knowledge that we must learn, and they share secrets that must be kept. The essence of Akamai.
Later.
Within the beginning tunnels of Black Fathom Deeps, large sapphire clusters can be found along the cave walls. Recently was noted that Naga were harvesting the crystals. Until it can be discerned why, I sense we should stop the Naga from succeeding. The crystals have great elemental power, and if used inappropriately, could make for a powerful arcane component. Will you help me to Lungi? Black Fathom Deeps can be found along Zoram Strand to the north of our outpost. Alright, that's technically a quest, an elite quest, but you can get all those things outside of the instance, and that's one we could try to push ourselves for. That's doable. And we'll get some solid XP in the process. Now, amongst the ruins.
See ya later.
The Twilight Hammer has moved into the Moon Shrine ruins of Black Fathom Deeps. Their presence can only serve to coerce the elements into working against us. If left unchecked, the region will be theirs for good. Telangi, go into Black Fathom and find the ruins. Fathom's stone should be somewhere close to the water. In it is a Fathom core, a device that, when properly read, will relate the history of all elemental activity. If I have it, I and the Earthen Ring can maybe do something to stop them. I don't know. Let's take a peek if we have to do, let's see, Warcraft Classic. Let's look at Amongst the Ruins, because I don't know if that's inside the dungeon or not. Kind of hard based on the quest description. Let's read it about the comments. It's actually under the water. No. Inside the instance. So, I mean, could I really risk it and stealth my way in? Maybe, but it's not worth it. Muglosh is back. Alright, let's talk to this guy. Between a rock and a thistle fir.
Greeting, adventurer. Welcome to the front lines in our conquest of Ashenvale. If you are looking for something to do, then you've come to the right place. I'm always looking for able-bodied individuals to help bring glory to the Horde.
Okay.
The Thistlefir fir bogs are threatening our expansion.
Bogs.
Thistlefir village to our east blocks the way between us here and the Splinter Tree post. It's a path that would circumvent the village of Astranar. Without it, we give the Alliance an extra expansion path. Adventurer, we must not allow an expansion path gap. Proceed to Thistlefir village and thin out the fir bogs. You will be given compensation for this task, but more importantly, you will be doing your duty for the Horde.
For the Horde.
Alright, buddy. Karang, Amakar, I'm down. Sounds like my kind of cup of tea. Killing furbogs. That's these up here. And we also have logging rope we can pick up there. And freedom to rule, which is a level 24 quest. So this is an appropriate... That's fine. Now, I want to turn in the Warsong reports before I do that, though. Okay, let's look at this. Mitsua with Troll Charm. My kinfolk were traveling here with many sacred troll charms, but the Thistlefir furbogs attacked and killed them before they reached Zoramgar. Those vile furbogs. I missed my brothers and sisters who were killed, but we will meet again in the afterlife. However, their troll charms hold great value in this world. It is an outrage that the furbogs have them. Telangi, you must retrieve these charms. They are in chests in Thistlefir Hold, a cave at the end of Thistlefir village north of Ashenar. It's actually kind of annoying to get those. I remember this now. A lot of these quests are the same. Hey, look, she's very similar to me. I'm like a slightly cooler version of her. Or like the future version when you play a Chromie quest. Marakai. Naga at the Zoram Strand. There is evil lurking here along the coast. It is the resting place of the doomed city of Zoram, long destroyed and submerged beneath the seas. Lost and nearly forgotten. Now the Naga have returned, and for what reason we do not know. But reason matters little. We must defend the land we have worked so hard to claim as our own. Return to me with 20 of their heads. Throw the Naga back into the depths.
Stay away from the voodoo.
Now that's my kind of quest. So, I'm annoyed now. There's the Warsong reports. Okay, so we do have a little bit of flying back and forth. So, this is the part of the quest, this is the part of the video where I would say, hey,
fly to?
Get up and go take a pee, a poop. Do what you need to do, because we're going to turn in our Warsong reports, which it's just so low, I want to get it while it's still worth any XP. But we have to fly here. Oh, crud. You know what? We could have just teleported back to Splinter Tree. I guess I'll still do it. So, now, then we have a bunch of Naga to kill. And in all honesty, flying here, and then I'll walk down. I guess I'll just port it back there just to save ourselves a couple minutes. I really should have ported. This would have been a perfect time to use the Hearthstone to save ourselves, 1, the 5 silver, and 2, the time. I mean, it's not a crazy long flight, but we are building up our quest. So, Troll Charm, it says. No, the Naga is a level 19, so that's a low one, and it might have... I want to get all these stupid blue off here too, so when we turn that in, that'll kind of shut down some of that stuff, I think. So we have a few things. There are some annoying... So what do you have to do for the Warsong supplies? one, we have to build that gun. Luckily, we can build it. Otherwise, it's a little bit more than a gold currently to purchase one on the auction house. Then you trade it at Splinter Tree posts. The logging rope can be gotten basically from any Furbolg. It just has a chance of dropping. It'll easily drop while we're doing this quest. Then we also have... Oh, there's another one. What is it? The oil? That's rope. The oil, yeah. The oil can be found while we're killing satyrs. And it's just a single thing. You just have to hopefully find it. It doesn't, it spawns randomly in variety of spots. But while we're killing the satyrs, we can find the oil. Then the whatever one of the other the axe shipment, I think that one's easy. We have to fly to Ratchet, hop on the boat to Booty Bay, and it's right there on the dock to Booty Bay. So it almost serves more than anything else as like a breadcrumb. So while we're there, we could go and get the flight path to Booty Bay and all that. So it's not crazy hard. It's just annoying, and because of the gun part, it's gonna cost you more than it's gonna give you. Now, what really is gonna give us the grind here is the lost pages, because that's a RNG nightmare. Like I said, and not only is it RNG, if you get bad luck, you could at any given time have 9 spots of your inventory. So over an entire bag taken up at these pages, because you can condense them down into a chapter. Once you get 4, like I have 1, 3, and now I have 6. Such a pain. I don't know if I think you could probably buy them on the auction house too. You really got desperate. Let me get some of this. I don't know if she can do iron. Let's see. Be cool if she could. Nope. She's too unskilled for that. Alright, so we'll go ahead and run down here to go turn in these reports, because it's technically a Baron's quest, but since she's our only horde doing Ashenvale, we might as well. So, I had quite a work day today. It wasn't, well, what happens is, people love to quit their job or call out. I understand if you have like a true medical concern or a planned vacation with lots of notice. But people that just wake up and call out of work. Now, sure, again, true medical emergency, if that's not your MO. But if you've done it, like in my job, you get, I don't know, man, I can't remember if it's 8 or 10 paid days off every year. Plus you get like vacation days and stuff. So like we get all, you get the holidays off, and there's set times when the company has vacation days. But of the regular non-scheduled natural vacation days, you get 10, or 8 sick days a year, I think. I can't remember if it's 8 or 10. And you can bank them. So basically, if you don't use them, you save them forever. Like I've been there about 10 years, and I probably have like, the point of my story is I'm not the kind of guy to call out. And again, I'm not saying if you are going through chemo or something, but no, if you've got fibromyalgia, or you wake up with a headache, or your nose is running and you just feel like your head is aching and you've got barfing, nah, man, don't. I'm sorry. Get the world sick, I guess. I mean, what are you gonna do? Spread your cold? You probably already were at a contagious part if you're insta calling out in the morning the next day, because the reason is the work doesn't stop. Someone's got to do your work, and my wife's similar mindset to me. We just don't call out. I'll call out for a vacation. Like I'll put days off. I'll take my own vacation outside of the vacation days. And I don't always do it. That's how that's how I have 30-something days saved up. But I'll take it off from time to time, because 1, life happens, and 2, sometimes you just want to take a trip. Last year I took my full 8 days, because I took 2 vacations of my own during the year.
Hurry to Lanji. They must receive the reports. It's urgent.
Who's
I
they?
can see that you are one that can be counted on. These updates are crucial to our plans to further our presence in Ashenvale. We can now plan our next move.
Okay, so awesome. I'm glad you can plan your next move. You're a jerk for making me not part of it, but at least I can get those 3 reports out. So there's that. Actually, I don't even want that clan meat. Yeah, so my gripe is because there's this lady that there's a basically kind of like a permanent overtime position at my job where you can work an extra 3 hours. You basically can work, like, you're signing up to always work an extra 10 hours a week. But you get, by doing that, you know, you get paid for it, and they need someone to do it. It's like a coordinator type position. So they have the need. It's someone has to do it every year, and I guess if nobody signed up, one of the bosses would do it. I guess. I don't know. I used to do it years ago because my son at that time, I would have to pick him up from school anyway, and he used to be part of this like program where it wouldn't get out until super late, multiple times a week, and I was also in online, like I was taking classes online, so I had like, because no one's in the building at all except for you, so you got like light work to do. They just needs a body there in case like there's certain things that are happening. There needs to be some person that's not like a custodian there. So I did it a few years back, so I know all the paperwork. I know, you know, I know how it goes. Like I did it, and it shakes out to, you know, pretty good amount of money extra per year. Not a ton, because they don't pay you like time and a half, because I think they know it's sort of like cake work while you're there. But it shakes out to like, I don't know, 6 or 7 grand extra per year. So I did it 1 year, and I only did it because it matched my lifestyle. I was already gonna be kind of dragging my feet and leaving work slow because I had to kill time, and it wasn't enough time to drive all the way home, then come out and get my son. And I knew that I could, like, well, I could stay there. I could be basically on call, deal with the whatever crap arises, and then I could just work on my classes. So it was a fine setup for me. And then last year, they needed someone to do it. And we had a new lady, and she was like, yeah, I'll take that money. But it's a terrible thing, because it doesn't take long for you to realize I've signed up for minimum 50-hour weeks every week, because you already work. My job's the kind of place where if you want to be any good at it, it's a joke if you think you're only going to be working your 40 hours a week. I already work 45 to 50 hours a week. So the idea that you're going to do your job and then do that, it gets old fast. Let me just say that. It gets old fast. So after my son was out of that program, the next year came out, I was like, nah, I'm good. She can have it. So then this year, that lady still works there, and she said she didn't want to do it. So they asked another lady, and this other lady's like, yeah, that sounds good. I'll do it. Well, she hates it. She's regretting her life choices already, but you're sort of on a contract for the year on it. But my bosses know that, you know, when push comes to shove, I am there, and I mean, some people could say that I'm like a pushover, but my philosophy is to be the... I would like to... I wonder if we're going to have like 100% drop rate since we're collecting heads. That would be cool. I try to be what I want to see in the world, you know? So I don't want people calling out. So what will happen is this lady basically calls out all the freaking time now. And every time she calls out, my bosses call me to cover her workload. and then cover, what's this page that we got? Page 8. So now we have, this is when I talk about that bad luck. We have page 1 and page 3, and page 6 and page 8. So we've got 2 of the different chapters. So in the past like month, this lady's called out like 4 times. So you know what? If you're calling out once a week, man, she's not like, there's no, it's not real. It's not. She doesn't have cancer. She doesn't have AIDS. You can't get COVID 4 times in 1 month. It'll, you know, it's something like it'll be a vacation, and then it'll be sick, and then her family's sick. It's just freaking excuses, man. At the end of the day, that's what it is. You either work or you don't work. You prioritize work or you don't prioritize work. And I get it, whatever. You might not love your job. You might not want to prioritize work. I'm not saying you should put work above the rest of your life. But know that if you don't do it, someone else has got to do it. And you might be like, yeah, I'll just screw over the bosses or whatever. Like, they're people too, man. They expect when they pay people to do their job, and they sign a contract, that they're going to do it. So you can justify it however you want. Don't freaking call out. Someone's got to do your crap. And now, if you work at a job where, no, they wouldn't notice if you were there or not, and you can get away with it, okay. Well, then that's a whole different scenario. Then call out whenever you want. And know that you're probably not doing anything amazing for the overall progress of the world if nobody would notice if you were doing your job or not. But that's me being a butthole, because I'm annoyed that the point of my story is I had to freaking work 14, no, not 14 hours. I had to, where's the Hydra? I don't want that thing. Well, I want this waterlogged thing. I guess I'll kill him.
I need to get closer.
I had to work 10 hours, 10-hour day, or 11-hour day, because I had to work basically like 2.5 extra hours, so 10.5 extra hours. I mean 2.5 extra hours. And I get paid for it. Not that I don't get paid time and a half. I get paid. They'll give you like like 35 an hour or something like that to stay. So it's not necessarily. It doesn't matter what your. It's like a set thing. It doesn't matter what your base pay is. I'm a salary worker anyway, so the whole concept of hourly wage is a joke for me, because I don't work. I don't really work only 40 hours a week. Like, if you break my money down, if you divide it by 40, sure, then you could do that math, but since I really work much more than that. But because it is a night where Lady GleeCon is at work, I could come home after working all day, and still, it looks like we have like 100% drop weight BT dubs. It looks like, yeah, so I was able to come home and still do the episode. Now tomorrow I'll be working longer, like a 12-hour day, and it's that perfect storm where it's 12-hour. I'll be working 12 hours, and Milady will be not. She'll be here. So. Probably not gonna. I will probably have to forego a video tomorrow. I just don't see how it can happen. It's gonna be so late by the time I get home from work, and then by the I get home, I have dinner. You know, I spend a little bit of time with my family before they go to bed, and then I'll look at my wife and say, "Okay, I know you've been on your work stretch for a few days. I've been gone all day, not helping around the house or anything. But now, I'm going to need you to sit tight for the next hour and a half while I go play World of Warcraft online." So it's probably not going to happen. Actually, it wouldn't be an hour and a half, because tomorrow we would do a reading one. but still, I don't. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I'm not going to say there's zero chance. But sometimes she'll be, since she works the night shift, she's on that weird backward schedule. So sometimes, like, if she sleeps late and I have dinner, then she might be like, oh, you know, I want to have a shower and chill for a little bit. And since I'm only going to make like a half-an-hour video, she might be like, okay, yeah, go ahead, do your thing. But there's also an equal chance that we just go watch TV or whatever. We've been watching, we just started watching Sweet Tooth. I don't know if you heard of that show. Pretty good. I'd started watching it with my son when it first came out. Oh, what page do we get now? Page 7. So now we have 6, 7, and 8. We need page 5, and we'll have that full chapter. Okay. Let's see. So we have 3 out of one chapter, 2 out of another. So we got 5 out of the 12. And you can get doubles. By the way, if you're wondering, yes you can. Now you can sell them, but they sell for very little. Oh, look at us, we leveled up. Sweet. So we can get that last little lethality now. 30% critical strike chance. That's great. And now we have a reason to go back to Orgrimmar, which we'll do that on the next episode. I mean, this one's quick what we're doing right now. So we might do it on this one. Because we could do some of the other stuff. Since we're doing so good, let's see what happens with the killing. Because I think the way the episode's going, like, I don't really want to go into. I think spending the time going into kill those furbolgs, that'll be a little bit too long. Okay, we already got all 20 heads. Jeez, this game is so bipolar. You gotta get 16 horns, it'll take us like an hour and a half. You gotta get 20 heads, take you 5 minutes. Also, I just don't know what's going on, if these are easy, or if Talanji's DPS is this good, but... or maybe it's just the change from playing our tank for the past few episodes, and now that I'm playing a DPS, and now once you get into the into the 20s and beyond, you can really tell the difference as the DPS ramps up. But Homegirl seems to be slaying pretty fast. I love rogues. This is probably where my love affair started to grow with it. We're gonna see what we have. We're gonna do Wrath. I don't know. Like I said, we're gonna do a Shaman and a Paladin. I'm just gonna see. I'm leaning away from Ret Paladin since we did that on this one, but we can do maybe Holy.
Don't be shy.
The Naga increase in numbers, Talanji. Please complete this task for me.
Okay.
We could use more of your kind around here, Talanji. Thank you for your help.
Be careful.
Alright, so she's got nothing for us. She gave us whatever. We gave her the heads. We gave her the head. Alright, so we gotta go back to, we got 2 things to do. So we gotta go to Ratchet, we gotta go to Orgrimmar. So let's take a little flight, since we got some time. We can at least get that piece, the Ratchet piece.
Where would you like to fly to?
Go to Ratchet. So we'll do that part of our journey, and then, depending on our time, I think we'll still be okay on time. We can go to Orgrimmar and buy what we need to buy to make that gun. So if we bust those 2 things out, we'll have half of the supplies that we need. Maybe we won't even buy the gun. We'll wait and Hearth. So I think that'll be good if we do it that way. We don't have a lot that we can sell. How's her first aid? First aid's fine. I mean, it's not great, but it's fine. She can take this wool. Make wool bandages, but not heavy yet. Yeah. We're doing okay on... This has been painless so far. I can't complain on a painless episode. Now, planning... We need... I think probably... It's... I mean... This Essence of Akamai is not a bad idea. But it's elite. So it does... What's the... The reward's not great, but... It's worth considering. Allegiance to the old gods. Bring the damp note. I don't know where you get that from. From any Black Fathom Tide Priestess. Okay. So, and who wants it? Genue. Now this Baron Aquinas, you kill him. He's the final boss, pretty much. Well, no, I don't think he's the final boss, but I don't know. And then Black Fathom Villainy, bring the head. Yeah, Argent Guard Dalerid. Do we have that? So, I guess it's something that we pick up while we're in there. I don't know. Or he's going to be right outside. Kind of hard to say. And the Fathom Stone, we need that. Alright, so I'm tempted to want to go in there and start killing some elites. But we also, I mean, what's going to be harder? Killing these level 22 elites one by one? Or will it be harder to come out here and fight the Thistlefur? I kind of want to try. I think we'll try the elites. I want to give it a try. And kind of explore some of these areas. They're not great for us. But then we'll fight the Troll Charms and the Between the Rock and the Thistlefur. That gives us a couple. Okay, now we're into Barrens. Coming down, we gotta get to Ratchet, and then we gotta walk across. Yeah, on Swift River, yep, that's what we did last time. So, that's good. Now, when we finish her, like I said before, we've got Stone Telling, which is actually, I don't know, my original notes, I have them both kicking over at around level 20. So Ashenvale was a 19. Let's check the classic Stone Telling level range. So we can kind of look at this. This says 14 to 30. So Stone Telling seems actually like it's easier. If we look at the quests and we sort them, the Horde has a ton in the beginning. That's why. Up to level 20, so we'll be good. Then they've got, I don't even know what that is. Yeah, that's a breadcrumb. That's all that is. They've got some in the middling levels. Then there is a spat here at the end, but Test of Lore, that feels like not a... It's level 30. And Ordanis, these come from other areas. The Den, that's the where we just went and got the Keykeeper or whatever. The Den version, that's that quest right there. I did that one with my wife. So it does kind of cap out with that quest. This is different though, like Test of Lore. Where do you get that? Like, yeah, Test of Faith. Yeah, so that's a Stone Talon chain that sends you back there. So not really the same kind of deal. And those level 60s, those are always like weirdo ones. Alright, so now let's go get ready for the boat. Not here yet. I mean, I could try to fish while we're... Do I have a fishing pole? I do! Alright. Might as well. I mean, sure. We have no fishing, but while we're sitting here... I don't know if I can fish these lands because my fishing's like level 5 or something. Or 1. But while we're killing time, we could try. Yeah, it's level 1. I've literally never fished with her ever. Well, I guess it's the first time for everything. Garyus is... Nope, my fish got away. What a shocker. I don't know if I'm good enough to fish in Ratchet with a fishing of 1. It might be impossible. I mean, I'll give it the old college try. 10 DPS. This is my better knife. Tail spike. She needs better stuff. No, it got away. Oh. The Milky Way. That's kind of funny for a Tauren. I mean, he's a boy, so I don't know what. I don't want to know where the milk's coming from. But you never know. Yeah, my third time's the charm. I'll get to level 2, maybe. If I did get a fish and raise to level 2. Okay, so it's not impossible. It's just, what is this? Young Bickle, part of Pink Panties. You actually see that Pink Panties guild around a lot. Alright, I'm level 3 fishing. Look at us. Actually raising our fishing. Look at you about meat. Nah. It just, honestly, it's in Classic, it's a lot more of a pain in the butt. Be a Horde cook. Yeah, so this is what's slowing us down a pinch because the travel. It's the travel time. Honestly, this is just one of those levels, but I think honestly it'll be better. Like the future levels. There's not a lot like this. We're kind of getting a lot of the travel out of the way. Whoa, look at that. I don't know where they're going. That is like a freaking big giant group of probably level. I mean, who knows what level they are, but they're coming through Ratchet and they're coming off this way. It makes me think there's a moderate chance they're trying to go up to Org, but we just read in our article the strategies of doing that. You would think you would want some Warlocks.
Door me Celtic.
So anyhow, yeah, I've griped on this episode about working. And I don't know. I'm not trying to be holier than thou. I've just never been that way. I've just never been a caller outer. My philosophy is if you work for a company. Now I'll quit. It's not like I've worked one job my entire life. My most infamous quitting, I'd say when I was a teenager. I was a lot worse about it. My first job ever. Well, I worked my godfather would put me to work a lot when I was young, so I did a lot. I cut my teeth in the working world from around 12 on, doing things like just clearing land, mowing lawns. He was a health insurance salesman, and he would bring me on his rides, on his sales trips a lot, and sometimes he would just have me be inputting. I don't even know what the heck kind of computer it was. It didn't even have a screen. It was like you'd be typing in his handwritten sales into this weird stenographer type of thing. Or he'd be bringing me out to sell insurance, like out to people. Like he'd hit the farms. He'd go out to the farmland, and then to make a sale, like he might sit out there all day and have me be like, hey, my godson here, while we're sitting here drinking lemonade, he'll sit and mow your farm or weed or chop down trees or whatever, and then they'd pay me $20 or whatever, it would be $10, whatever I could get as a little kid. I'd work all day for $10, and he would sit there all day and make the sale. Alright, so it's very close. As you can see, the shipment is right here of our Warsong axes, and we're going to go immediately right back. We kind of need this flight path, but I also kind of want to get right back on the boat. I don't want to miss the boat. It's not even worth the flight path for me. I don't care. Because we're not... Is she going to go to Stranglethorn? She is. But what is she? She's going to get there via Ratchet, so I'm actually not worried about it. So we have one of our 4 pieces now of that Warsong Supplies quest. We have 4 to go. 3 to go. But my first real job was at 15. I worked at Dairy Queen. Hot Eats Cool Treats. And it was fine. Like, whatever. It was, you worked at Dairy Queen. But my, first of all, it's very hard to get your first job. So, as anybody that's done it, I actually think I might have griped about it on this show before. Very hard. So you got to take what you can get. So when there was this young, I don't even know. He wasn't even young. It was just some dude that was totally cool hiring tons of 15 and 16-year-olds. And like half of my friends in my neighborhood worked at this Dairy Queen. So I got in. I was fine. I feel like I did fine. I wasn't like lighting the world on fire or anything. I was just kind of having fun and eating ice cream and, I made very little money. You were only allowed to, at 15, you could only work a certain amount of hours. And I probably spent like half my paycheck every week on ice cream and chicken fingers at Dairy Queen. And then the Dairy Queen was like I ride my bike there. And it was right next door to the local video store. So I'd probably spend the other half renting like videos and video games. Buying magic cards. Then at 16 though, they like cut my hours. I think I was allowed, I don't remember if I was allowed to work 15 hours a week or 20. I don't remember, but they started cutting me down to like 1 5-hour shift a week or something like that. So once I was getting like 5 hours a week, I was like, that place I did not go out with a bang. Like, I mean, with any honor. Basically, my hours were so low that 1 week after my shift, I just told my boss, I was like, I quit. I said, all right, I might have called. I think I called in. I was like, yeah, I quit. I was like, you guys, and I said to them when I quit, I was like, you only work me 5 hours a week. I think you'll be okay, like, covering what I'm contributing to this place. And I immediately went and got a job at Burger King. Right, and because I had turned 16, so that's what it kind of was. I was like, all right, I'll be 16 now, so my options will open up. So I went to Burger King, and I worked there about 2.5 months, and they had no problem with me. I worked a decent amount of hours. But newsflash, working at Burger King sucks. So I did some drive-through and cashier, but mostly I was in the back, like making burgers. And just that was my first indoctrination into the corporate world, where it's like you just can't. You could be hungry and you can't eat. You got to throw that food in the trash. They would rather have you throw the food in the trash than feed their employees. Like, if you're not going to pay, you got an employee discount, whatever it was. But like, I understand the fiscal, I guess. I understand the fiscal strategy. Not so much with that though. Like, these are your employees. If they're already not buying the food, why not let them eat it? They just don't get it. And I get it. I mean, sure, then you'd be promoting like them. The employees would never buy the food there. They would just always wait until the stuff to get thrown out, and that might incentivize them throwing out really good burgers or whatever, messing up on burgers. So like, I get it, but it's a tough. How about just give your workers a free meal? Circumvent that whole dang thing. You'd never have to play that game. You just gave them a free meal. You could have a free meal every day. I feel like any especially fast food, what's it costing them? What's it really costing them? Sure, not talking loss in profits. What's the actual physical cost? Like freaking 25 cents or something. So I only worked there a couple months, and then I got a job. And I'm trying to remember what my next job was as I go through my mental history here. I don't remember what my next job was, to be honest. I know when I was around 17, I got a job as a waiter at Steak and Shake. And I really liked that job. And it was the first time, especially during the busy time of the year, I could make like a couple $100 a night in tips. And I enjoyed working there, but that was my most ignominious resignation because I was a senior in high school. I stayed there until I was 18, and once I was 18, I could start working full time. And I messed up. I requested prom off like every person did, and I did not take the job seriously. I'm not saying that. I was fine, but I was definitely more interested in being a teenager and partying and that kind of thing. I was not out there making it my career. Just didn't really care. I had fun. The reason I liked that job is because it gave me quick influxes of cash, and I had a lot of friends that worked there too. I got along. I really liked working with the people. But yeah, I wasn't. So basically, I screwed up and I requested the wrong weekend off. And then when prom came, a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks before it came out, I went to the boss and I said, "Oh man, I messed up. I requested the wrong weekend off." And of course, everyone was a teenager, so everyone had requested the correct weekend off. And I was like, "I need to switch my weekend off to that." And they said, "No, you screwed up. You're within the." Oh, that's Halloween. You're within the windows of, you can't call off. You're too close to your call off. We've already put like a lockdown on that date. And I was like, well, it's prom. I'm not going to like not go. I'm not going to work that night. They're like, well, you can show up for your shift that night or work somewhere else. So I was like, all right, message received. And I did not show up for my shift that night. And somehow I survived. And you know what? Somehow so did they. So, again, I don't really think they lost a huge asset with me. And I didn't lose a huge asset either. It was kind of, whatever. All right, so we're here so we can learn our trade our rogue powers up. And then we're going to play around the auction house. And then we'll pause so that our hearth will respawn. I require training, sir. Another point of eviscerate. I forgot I even had that thing. So yeah, let's get eviscerate. Learning crippling poison, which slows the movement speed. Meh. And then detect traps. Are you talking about hunter's traps?
Spirits.
Okay. Alright, so we have rank 4 on eviscerate now. I forgot I even had that thing. Yeah, I need to be using that bad boy some. At least some. It's a passive. I don't even... When are there traps? That's my main thing. And then what? Crippling poison? Is that general? Oh, that's part of my poisons. Yeah, so now I have crippling poison. I feel like I don't care to buy the materials. I don't want to put it in my bag right now. But, okay. So we're just about done. I just want to go buy the mats that I need to make a deadly gun. So we'll do that. We'll see how much I have of these materials. And, so I'm going to have to go to the bank. We're going to have to go to the auction house. Yeah. We'll see what we need. We've already been kind of playing anymore. We're fine on money. I don't know how this girl got so good on cash flow. But she's fine. Yeah, put that down there. We can sell those things. Yeah, that was a painless leveling up process. She didn't get a lot more powerful. So maybe that's going to be sort of kind of how it goes. Yeah, I've done a bunch of different jobs in my life. Sure, as most people have. I worked at a gas station for a long time. Loved it. Again, I was not a model employee. There's some things, but you know what? One thing that I was a model employee, and how I have been, one of the main things about all these jobs, other than the beginning quitting kind of thing, is I never really call out. I never call out. I worked at yeah, the gas station. I was fine. I kind of burned all my bridges when I quit, though. And then later on, I tried to reapply at the same gas station, and they were like, "No, we're good." Understandably, I couldn't fault them for it. I was a dishwasher at a restaurant before. That I just quit because I had 2 jobs at the time, and at the other job is the job where my current wife worked, and so I was really more into that one. That job was fine too. That was I was a cook.
Would you rather trust your goods with a goblin?
Look, we've got the copper tubes that we need. I don't see any actual copper. Son of a biscuit eater. Okay, I got plenty of copper tubes. Alright, let's bring my blacksmith hammer out, though. I'll bring my spanner in case I need it. Let's see what we actually need to create this. I need my... Okay, I have that. I got the tubes now, but I need 4 copper so I can make the bolts. I need a wooden stock, and I need 2 medium leather. So essentially I need 4 copper, or 4 copper bars, whatever's cheaper. And so we gotta go to the auction house for this stuff. I wonder if you could buy this deadly blunderbuss like straight up. Wouldn't that be cool?
I have just the thing for you.
It's just a thing for me. She promises. Yeah, I'm using throwing daggers, so it's not even like I have it sitting around waiting. Alright, so first of all, let's look at the medium leather. I need 2 of those. And there's no going around that. Okay, so if I buy 2, there we go. Buy the 2 stack. So that's only 2 silver. That was fine. Now let's just look straight up copper. Like I said, I need 4. 2 silver. Can't buy it out. 43 silver for 9. Effer. That's a lot. What about the actually deadly blunderbuss? So do I just... No. Why? Why buy it when it's... Maybe if I just buy the copper ore? I wonder, does anybody... Yeah. So that's much better. So for about 12 silver, I can buy the copper ore. Look, this is the same price for 3. Yeah, take it. All right. So now I have the copper ore much cheaper than the copper bars because you can refine them yourself. Whereas I think the copper bars, they know they're selling them to engineers, so they can just get bank. All right. So we have the copper ore. We have this. Now we have to go travel to the vicinity of the, yeah, whatever. So I can make 5 copper bars. That's all good. I don't care about the bronze. I once worked at a phone, so not, it was called, man, I don't even, Key Source maybe, something like that. But it was basically phone sales. We would sell like exercise videos, coins, coin collections. Sometimes we would do surveys. And I worked there for a few months and wanted to kill myself. It was so bad because if you made sales, you knew you were selling a product that was crap. And even if it wasn't crap, it was just overpriced. You're reading a script. You could make commission. You were allowed to quote unquote make your own schedule, but I'm telling you, I hated it. So I never wanted to drag myself in there. And what really was a nail in the coffin for me was I called, I'll never forget this, a low light of my life. I called to sell my whatever my crap was, coins or whatever. And this woman answered to the phone, and she was all out of breath and stuff. And you could tell she just ran to the phone. She sounded older. And when she answered, she was like, I got into my script. I started giving my spiel. And she kind of cuts me off at some point, and she basically lets me know that her husband had just passed away like that day. And lots of people were calling because they were trying to, you know, coordinate things and see how she was, and she's waiting on calls from like the coroner and the funeral home or all this different stuff. And she lets me know that she ran to the phone and basically
What can I do for
I caused her a lot of pain. Physical, emotional pain. I was the cause of it. And she was just like, how can you live with yourself? Blah, blah, blah. And you know, sure. I'm just a kid trying to do my job, and you don't think about it. But then I just couldn't shake it from that point on. I was pretty good my first like month or so at making sales. I was good. I was better than most of my friends. But geez Louise, once I hit that, where do you buy this wooden stock from? I probably need it from the engineering trainer. Yeah, but once I hit, once she did that, I just couldn't shake my mind that like, you are not only just trying to kind of be a scammer, you also could legitimately like, you're certainly not making the world better.
Go see my pal Rochik there. Nice going. Talk to me. Hello, adventurer. If you don't see it in my shop, chances are good I can get it.
So that's kind of what did it for me. When I realized like, oh man, I'm part of what's making the world worse. I'm not helping people out. Like you can be, I've done sales at other jobs. And first of all, I don't like it. But anytime, I've always been a pretty successful salesman. Never like top at the company, but there was a company I worked for a while. And I was like the number 2 salesman. I was always solid, always in the running, always pretty successful. But I only sold one if I believed in the product. So after that experience, I never sold something I didn't believe in again. And 2, if I genuinely felt that it was it would be a benefit to the person I was trying to sell to. So that requires conversations, that requires understanding of people. And there was a guy, his name was Helmut, at this company I worked at. And we would sell so much. And yeah, this is what, P.S. or aside, sorry guys. Sorry for making it a sucky episode. When there's so much travel, like there's only so much there's not that much lore to talk about when we're running around. And you're just going on the journey with me, and then the episode stretches so long. I do apologize, and you just end up hearing all this weird, crazy, boring crap about my life. And I get it if you tune out. So no worries. And if you don't, cool. Let's have a beer sometime. You can tell me all about your stuff. You know, we all have it. You're just not even a captive audience, just an audience. While I do this navel gazing. But yeah, Helmet was a douche. And he would always be #1 in sales. And it's because he would relentlessly sell. He was like the...
fought at the Battle of Hyjal. Any who seek...
He was like that definition of the... what you see on like a Leo DiCaprio movie or whatever. Like, always be closing. That dude, that was his motto. Always be closing, man. And he was. And so his numbers would be higher than me, but then he would miss out some of the sales because the douche, some people could just tell you just exude douche when you're like that. All right, guys. We got another episode in the pipe. 5x5. If I don't see you tomorrow, I'll miss you. If I do, cool. Thanks everyone for watching, for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on Lore of Warcraft. Peace out.